My mother was leaving Tasmania. She wanted out of Tasmania because of what was happening to her. You have to know that the saying of Tasmania is the level of care is neglect. I'm not the only one that's complaining, and you know this. So my mother was actually leaving. So any New South Wales Jewish home would be fantastic. She has become agoraphobic, obviously, because Mount Esk used the COVID excuse and had her in a room for months. And however much they say, oh, but it was a month, I couldn't do anything before that. As soon as she became bedridden, she was not moved from her room. They now move her into the dining room because, of course, I made such a fuss. But the garden, she needs air. And this is what it's like with them, that they are so abusive that you point out the worst abuse, then they rectify that for a whole 24 hours, and then it's back to the reality. She says that the carers don't care, but it all comes from the managers. When you're taught to care for someone, surely the first thing you're told is keep everything in arm's reach so that they can use things. You put my mum in a chair on the other side of the room so she can't get her hearing aid. She can't get the remote control. It's very cruel what you're doing to her. I'm actually known for someone that doesn't make a fuss. 25 years that man got away with that crap, and my family police. I don't make a fuss. You have to push me and push me and push me. I'm pushed. I'm done. My mother needs to be in Sydney. She wanted out. I don't want to hear of the neglect anymore of Tasmania. My mother was leaving, and that was going to be the end of all the abuse from Australia as far as I was concerned. But no, they've dragged it, so I'm there for another 8 months. And look what's happened under your care. No hearing aid. I was the one that did that, and it was weeks and weeks. Give her a hearing aid. Give her a hearing aid. And then, just taking her walk, that is absolute persecution. That is saying, well, you can't leave, and you don't even provide her with a wheelchair. So her brain is perpetually trapped. Come on, you need to sort this out today. You do get her mindset is that she can't walk. You won't provide her with a wheelchair. You won't provide her with any form of communication, so she can't book her ticket. You've taken her money from her. And let's say that she could. Let's say that miraculously you give her her bank card, you give her access to buy mobile internet so she can book her ticket, you give her access to being in a wheelchair that she can go to the cab. She's got that doctor that gave her shock treatment. She's petrified that that doctor is going to hurt her daughter, isn't she? And hurt others. I mean, so even if you could miraculously do all that, that doctor's still there waiting, isn't he? What you've done to me and her, I'll have you in jail. And you think I won't, but I will. Keep asking for the COVID injections, passport, it's proof so she can fly. She's got to get up to Sydney. Keep asking for it. Month 8. Where is it? Your abuse is like a tidal wave. It's just it wipes me out, literally. I am so sorry that Tasmania has had to go through this. I am really, really sorry that you don't have to take this at all. You're human beings. You're not slaves. You pay your taxes for the hospital. You pay your taxes for it all. I'm getting on to the minister. He's going to wear this. And on top of everything else, there's the breast cancer. The no checkup. God, how can you call yourself healthcare? My mother's in pain. She is alone. And she wants to see her daughter, whether it's by video, whether it's, it's tactile. She wants to touch her daughter. For God's sake. You're so inhumane. You don't even bother pretending any human traits. But I'm human. And I'm doing something about it. I will have your jobs. You think I won't? But I will. The guardianship, when Mom said, I want to go back to England 3 times, and she'd actually gone into the travel agents, and with the money to book her ticket, I have it in writing. The guardianship said, no, we're going to ignore your British citizenship. And then they went for mine. They really did. So they completely shit on the Crown. And what the amazing thing was that they genuinely thought that they'd get me too. That they were like, honestly, it was a kind of like a scene out of the Frankenfurter movie, with all the kind of vampires going, yeah, yes, you know, and Mum and I were just like, what? Is this real? Like, you really think that you can speak to me like this? They can't. And they're not going to do it to anyone else either. You can't go for someone else's citizenship. You're a Commonwealth country. Oh my gosh. Jesus loves you. But I don't want his love. And I certainly don't want to go to their heaven. Is it full of boys all being tortured? I don't know why anybody doesn't say anything about this heaven place that they keep referring everyone to. I don't want to go to a place where boy touchers refer me. I don't know. I just don't see it being a good place. Like the guardianship. Like Tasmania Healthcare. Like Mount Esk. Who are you going to call? Not Mount Esk, because there's no video.